Well, tree or tactical milling reticle? Wow, let's have this conversation. Hi everyone, it's a four-gun guy. And man, I tell you what, you can go to a match, a PRS match, and you will get two sides to that story. So what I wanted to do today is let's look at both. And I'm going to introduce some really cool tech here. An app that's out there on the market, precisionriflesim.com. And Michael has done a great job with this app, and we're going to actually use that in this video to see the differences with real wind conditions and so forth. So if you're ready to go, let's go down this rabbit hole. Look, the arguments on both sides, and I don't even know why it's an argument, right? I don't know why it's such a hot subject, and for most times it isn't, but for a lot of times it can be. But the people on the TMR reticle side, right, which is a reticle like this, are saying it's not busy, right? The tree reticle is too busy, and a tree reticle like this one can be too busy, right? It could be. But I've never understood the when people get really opinionated about this topic, right? And here's what I want you to get from this is that a lot of times those people who are opinionated are probably sponsored by a scope manufacturer that is selling that scope with that type of reticle. So just be careful when you start listening to all the pros and cons about either one of these things, right? Because I have no qualms at all about which one you would want to shoot. I shoot a specific one, and we'll get to that after we talk about them. But here's the scenario that you want to think to yourself. And some of you are going to come back and go, oh, that's never the case. Here's the scenario. You're at a match, and it might not be a monthly match, but if you shoot monthly matches, and then you want to go to a 2-day match that's levels above your monthly match, they may have a stage that says you have 3 targets. You may not touch your turrets. Any turret, not your elevation, not your windage, and not your parallax when the buzzer goes off. So here's the thing. You have 3 targets at 3 different distances, and you have got to hold over on 2 of those targets, right? Because generally, what you're going to do, and some people may go, no, I don't do it that way. What you're going to do is you're going to take the closest target, and you're going to get your dope, and you're going to set your elevation turret to that elevation, right? And on the windage, if you hold wind, then you don't worry about anything. If you're going to dial some wind and then hold on the further out targets, then you would dial the wind you think you're going to need on that close target. And then as you shoot the stage, target 1, let's say, you start at target 1, the closest. Fire, impact, you're good. Now you have to hold over onto target 2. And not only hold over elevation, but hold over windage. Because let's say you dialed 3/10 for the close target, but that middle target is going to be 6/10 of wind. Now you're going to have to hold over 3 more tenths of wind, and that target you may need 2 mils of elevation that you're going to have to hold for that target. You're going to see this when I shoot this thing, or when I use the simulator. Then you have a third target that's another 2 mils, let's say, in elevation, and another 3/10 in wind. So these are things that you might want to think about. This is really specific to a stage that they will not let you touch your turrets on. And I've been in a few of those in 1- and 2-day matches, right? So let's do this. Let's go to the video that I took in the rifle simulator, and you'll see the difference between these two, and then we'll have some more analysis and some final thoughts. All right, well, let's use Precision Rifle Sim for this because I think this is just the coolest app. Now, I'm at Gunline, and we can go out to, I think, about 1,150 yards here. But let's start with this. If you look on the left, you can see that I'm running an 8-mile-an-hour right to left wind. I'm shooting my 6 millimeter BRA. So I've got all my dope in here. And it is telling me that for 500 yards, for example, right, I should be holding 2.6 mils and my wind would be about 7/10. Remember, we can't dial, right? So we have to hold. So here I am. I'm at 19 magnification, which is what I would be in a match. And I'm going to come to the 500 yard and I'm going to say, okay, I need to hold 2.6. So right about here. And then I need to hold about 7/10. So 7/10 would be, see up here, I can see the half mil markings. So 7/10 would be right about there. And let's let one go. And there's an impact. So in this case, right, I'm doing pretty good here. There you go, impact. Now, let's go out to even further. 700 yards, which I think is here. 700 yards. 4.6 and 1 mil. So we're going to come up 4.6. We're going to come over 1 mil. So we're right about there. Fire. This would be a match. Impact. 4.6, 1 mil because we came off. Fire. Impact. 4.6, 1 mil. Fire. Impact. All right. Once we figure out what we're looking at, it's not that big of a deal. And then you realize what people are saying here, right? Is that this doesn't look as busy as that tree reticle. And I tend to agree with them. So if we come out to say 11 power, 11 magnification, it's very clean. I can see everything. If I come into even 20 power, this is very clean, right? So it's a very clean reticle. All right, well, let's compare this now to the tree reticle. All right, now we're going to do the exact same thing. I left the wind the same, everything the same. And this time we're going to use the Vortex Razor Gen 3 EBR7D reticle. So let me get my magnification out to 19 where we were before. And now here is the tree reticle. So let's go to our 500 yard target like we were. And again, we're 2.6 and 6/10 over. So here we would be 2.6. You can see the 6/10 is right there, right? So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm putting it on the head of that target so you can see it. So here would be that 2.6, fire, impact. Same thing. I'd go 2.6, impact. Okay, so there's those 3 impacts, right? So let's go out to, I think this was the 700. Yeah, here's the 700, 4.6. Now here's our 4.6 on the elevation right there, basically. And then we had 1 mil hold. Here's where I think the tree really shines, right? There's our 1 mil dot. Now I'm at 14. Let me come into 19 where I was before, where I usually am. So here we go, 4.6 mils. So it would be right here. And then 1 mil would be right there, basically. Impact, right? 4.6. Don't do it again, Tony. You keep doing that. 4.6, 1 mil. Miss. Nope. Impact. So here again, you can see now let's kind of zoom out here like we were before and see what the reticle looks like. See, to me, it's not that intrusive. People say these are intrusive. I don't think that's the case. At 19 power, where I run it on a 400 yard target, that is not covering up that center dot, and the tree does not get in my way. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and get back for some analysis and some final thoughts. Well, what did we see here, right? We saw that, let's talk about the benefits, right? The benefits of the TMR type reticle is that it really is not intrusive at all, right? It's very simple. Everything you have conceivably, you have a much better view of the target environment out there, and things aren't in the way. The benefit of the tree reticle is that, as you saw again, when we're holding elevation and we have to hold wind, it's kind of nice to have those markings on those tree branches that help us quickly get to where we need to be. So again, I'm not telling you which one of these things to go with. I'm going to say what I usually say, and that is go to a match, go to a range. Maybe you'll find some shooters with both types of reticles. Ask to look through their scopes. See what works for you, right? I told you I would tell you what I like. I like a tree reticle. That's just me. Because to me, if I have to hold over on a stage like that, it's very easy for me to go down the tree, come over the branch, and I'm there, right? And hey, look, I really want to thank Michael Mead for his app, because he's pretty awesome. And I think I'm going to do a video just on that app coming up. But if you don't know, it's precisionriflesim.com. I'll put that here in the video. But go out and look at his stuff. He's got some free things that you can play with for a while. And then he's really looking for some other venues, other ranges to put in this app. Because this is fantastic if you're going to go to like Gunline and shoot a match or something like that. You'll already kind of be familiar with the layout, right? At least the topography and the way things look. So I think it's a fantastic app. All right, well, there you have it. Look, you need to choose which one is going to be right for your eyes and for your use. And again, holding over on a stage may make up 2% of all the stages you're ever going to shoot. So if it's not that big of a deal, you can certainly go with a TMR reticle, have a cleaner sight picture, and just enjoy that. I like the tree. All right, guys, thanks for hanging in there. Appreciate all the likes, comments, and subs. And until next time, pick the right reticle for your eyes and shoot straight.